It's Saturday, my dudes. This is the DOQ show. I'm one of your hosts, Alex, alongside the Pride of Saratoga. Aaron, how's it going?
Yo, it's going good. It's going good.
It's going good for you today? A little beer action? Let's get that crack. Let's get it. The DOQ show is when Aaron and I bring you topics for your enjoyment about video game, tech, and pop culture for the next hour. Aaron, let's jump into it.
Let's do it. What are we starting with?
We're going to start in with the Dota 2 International.
Ooh.
A little Valve action. This is the seventh one. First prize, $16 million.
I think what always blows me away about these is that they pack like giant stadiums for this. Like the biggest stadiums. Not just like little like baby like Avaya soccer stadiums. These are like the big like domes.
These are domes.
The big stadiums.
It's crazy how much like this game, 7 years now.
Yeah.
It's been around forever. And it's still getting more and more popular. The prize pool is going up. And it's crazy that back when we were probably in early college and whatnot, our parents were like, this shit would never happen. And now there's people playing for millions and millions of dollars.
I think a lot of people thought esports would never happen.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that people are making their entire careers playing video games. They're getting filthy rich doing it too.
Yeah.
Not as rich as NBA players, let's say, but like
it's good for playing a game.
Yeah.
Today, my dad's like, where's your brother? I'm like, he's in Seattle. My brother's actually there.
Okay.
He's there today, and he was there yesterday. And he goes, what is he there for? And I say he's there for a video game tournament. And he rolled his eyes. I'm like, Dad, they're making as much money as like most people at $60 million first prize. And he looked at me, and he was like, no. And I'm like, yeah. But I just wanted to bring that up. We got huge teams going in there.
Yeah.
Another item for you, Aaron. Rainbow Six, Blood Orchid, August 29th. Finally, the drought is over.
I don't know. For me, it wasn't that much of a drought. Like I was very happy with the game. I think the game started to get more polished. Operation Health is kind of a joke. There's still tons of bugs in the game.
What's Operation Health?
Operation Health was the most recent patch where they decided to skip releasing a new map and new operators and favor putting all their efforts towards, fixing bugs and making things more optimized, higher frame rates and whatnot. And to some extent, they succeeded in that. But really, there are still so many game-breaking bugs. Like, you get stuck. There was that like grenade bug or whatever that was. I don't know. Like, tons of problems still with the game. But I'm glad that they took time to sit down and like try to fix things out.
Right.
Operation Orchid or Blood Orchid.
Blood Orchid, August 29th.
That's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to that.
So in Blood Orchid, you get 3 operators and a new map because the operators that they decided not to put into the patch that was now Operation Health, they're going to take one. There's 2. They're going to put one in Blood Orchid and one in the...
Interesting.
So you're going to get 3 operators. They're not going to get that, but you won't get a new map. So there's one less map this year. I'm finally happy. We knew it was coming in August. I myself have been feeling a little bit of fatigue in terms of just it being stale for me. But I'm really glad when I saw it this morning. I was like, all right, finally, we have a date. Yeah. It's no more end of summer. It's no more possibly September.
Right.
It's here. Blood Orchid. We're going to get
like 2
3
weeks.
operators. Yeah, dude, 2 weeks. Jesus Christ.
We've been having a blast with Rainbow Six Siege. We haven't played it in the past couple of weeks, but recently I ranked into Gold 1.
Savage.
I'm really excited about that.
Hold on. I'm going to crack
or
a
not
beer.
Gold 1.
I'm going to
Sorry.
crack a beer. No.
Silver 1.
This makes it less nice. For your silver one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Chin chin. Beer and coffee.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? It's 12 o'clock somewhere. But there's some new releases this week. Hellblade for PS4 and PC. And Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers is from Cliff Bleszinski, the guy who created Gears of War, Unreal Tournament.
Right.
From what I'm seeing is that Unreal Lawbreakers getting hit with the it's an Overwatch clone, and we're getting.
Did you notice on their website they like state this is not an Overwatch clone?
I mean, you have to, right? Like, what do you do at this point? What do you do?
But I mean, let's be real. It's an Overwatch clone.
It's
in the same sense that League of Legends and Dota are clones of each other. I don't remember the timeline of which.
So they share the same genre,
right?
I think a clone is like I stole your stuff. It may have taken concepts like hero shooter, but yes, it's within the hero shooter genre. We can always say that Overwatch is a TF2 clone.
In some ways.
But Lawbreakers, I played a couple of the betas. The first beta I played was the alpha. I didn't really care for it. Second time I played it was last month, and I enjoyed it, but it just didn't say, hey, stay. I mean, it's got cool little little intricacies. Like it's got anti-gravity and
Right.
it's all this stuff. So you use your gun to
Is it
give you
boots on the
momentum.
ground?
No, there's like anti-gravity.
Right.
So you're jumping around and you can use your gun as momentum to you can shoot behind you and it'll propel you.
Right.
You can do all this different stuff. There's cool mechanics in it. It's more skill-based. It's an arena shooter. It's from the latest couple articles that I saw is that on Steam it was hovering around like 3K people, which is not the best
Yeah.
for a new game. They didn't advertise it very well, I don't think. I kind of, from just watching Twitch streams and seeing ads here and there on YouTube, then I'm like, oh, it's coming out. I'm surprised they didn't. It's for $30 though, which is cheap. It's good. It's a good price. They're not going to try to say, hey, $60, this is for you. No, there's microtransactions like everything, but it's $30. If you are into a fast-paced arena shooter with anti-gravity, with hero skills, give it a shot. Hellblade came out. It's a 6-hour, what they call a AA single-player game. From people who made Ninja Theory is the brand, and they've done a bunch of other games. But what it is, it takes it's about like mental health.
Okay.
So you play this woman who it's kind of like a Nordic vibe, and she starts tripping, and it's really intense. There's no HUD.
Sure.
And then you just go through this journey. It's on my list on my PS4. I want to give it a shot. It's getting good reviews. There was a big thing that in the game, and the developers didn't say too much about permadeath. If you die too many times in the game, you will not come back.
Interesting.
But from what I see, it's not true.
Okay.
It just the game plays in a way where you feel like you're slowly degrading and all this stuff. But other than that, for news, not too many things that stuck out. Did you play the one that I saw was Shadow of Mordor is getting, or the Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor sequel is getting microtransactions.
Interesting.
Which is terrible.
I mean, we're seeing a lot of these games that are not being successful move to free to play, right? Is it going to be free to play or is it?
No, it's a $60 single player game. Shadow of Mordor. The first game was good.
Okay.
I got it for $3 on the last Steam sale, and it's pretty good. $3 for everything.
Right.
And it was a great game. It's very like a hack and slash game, and now Warner Brothers is like, I want to make more money, so they're adding freaking loot in it. They're adding loot boxes instead of just being a single player Lord of the Rings game that it was so loved, and now it's kind of like
a $60 game shouldn't have microtransactions, and I say that
pay to win.
For pay to win, yeah. I say that knowing that a lot of things like Rainbow Six Siege has microtransactions. Yeah. But I'll defend that because it's an online community game type thing, and you're paying for cosmetic upgrades at best.
Right. Yeah, you should not have to pay to win. That's never good. That's when microtransactions start getting a little sketchy to me.
Yeah.
But as we segue to that, what have you been playing? You've been playing some Factorio.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of.
What
Factorio.
is this?
Okay.
I see it, and I looked at the graphics, and I was like, this looks like something that we would play back in the late '90s.
It feels a lot like Brood War. That's really what it. It's the type of graphics that it has. And I've been told that they're rolling out HD graphics textures on a piecemeal basis.
Sure.
It's not going to be better than what it currently is by much. But it's weird that they roll it out on a piecemeal basis. But anyways, we'll get to that later. Factorio is a game that's a lot like a Minecraft or Terraria sort of setup where you're just kind of dropped in this world. It's a top-down 2D world where you're just with a crashed spaceship, and your goal is to rebuild civilization to a point where you can build a spaceship and fly back home to your homies or whatever.
Okay, is it fully released or is this early access?
It's early access.
Okay.
But it's very, very detailed. Like, there's nothing missing from the game, I would say.
How much are we paying for early access?
$20.
$20, okay.
And the thing that really stands out to me is that it has a very great system of automation. So it has that sort of Minecraft aspect where you start out and you go up to a tree and you punch the tree to get wood.
Okay.
But then you take that wood and you start building tools, and there's these conveyor belts, right?
Okay.
So you can have a furnace, or you can have a miner dump stuff into a conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt will drag stuff over to a furnace, and an inserter will pick it up off the conveyor belt into the furnace. It'll smelt that iron ore into iron plates, and then you can put that onto a conveyor belt, and that can go into another furnace where it can smelt the iron plates with coal into steel, and then you can use steel plates to make steel box. You have this whole assembly line. It's all automated.
So there is a main objective there's a main objective, but in between when you start in the main objective, how long does that usually take? Is it like a 20-minute, an hour
No,
exercise?
we've been playing for hours, and hours, and you're on this planet and you're not alone. There's aliens called the biters.
Okay.
And they are normally benign, but if you start polluting the planet with your factories, they start to get pissed.
Are they like bugs or something?
Yeah, kind of like a Starship Troopers type bug.
Okay.
Sort of
Are they easy to like counter, or they are kind of like if you bother them too much, they'll kill you?
Here's what's interesting. They're very easy in the beginning, but they slowly start to evolve. And like there becomes more and more types of them. It becomes like ranged ones or like tank ones and whatnot. And so you have to constantly be upping your defenses. Like you can build walls, you can build gun turrets. In the beginning, you might need to build like a wall and a couple of gun turrets, and you can just fill them up yourself. But they start to get it. They start to attack frequently, and then you have to like build conveyor belts that automatically feed your gun turrets with ammo.
So I keep hearing conveyor belt. Is that the only way that you can transfer like resources around your base?
No, so you could pick it up and put it in your inventory.
Okay.
You could. There's also trains, which are a little more advanced. Where you can load up a train with a cargo and like send it off. There are flying robots. We just got to flying robots. Flying robots are
This is dope.
pretty sick, dude. It's pretty awesome.
So how big are these maps that you're like
They're
playing on?
procedurally generated.
Okay.
And the bases are so long that we have cars and we drive around our base.
Okay.
And I'll show you some of the gameplay footage, but maybe we'll roll some B-roll over this.
Can.
But it's pretty amazing, and it's one of those games where it's multiplayer, but it's not boring when it's multiplayer because it's cooperative. So it's like instead of you two trying to do the same thing, you can just split off and do two things at once and have a lot of fun just messing around and doing your own thing.
When you play co-op, are you going to the same objective,
Yes.
right? Do you share can you share resources with each other?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have separate banks? I'll use that.
No. So I want you to think of it more of like you have a conveyor belt for a production line of iron plates, right?
Okay.
And that would be like your main iron plate artery.
Okay.
And so you can divert stuff off that main artery. So you share the same artery, but you say, okay, I want to go over here and make batteries. So I'm going to need iron plates and copper plates, and I'm going to need sulfuric acid. So I'm going to set up all this stuff over here. That's what I was working on. And I was just like, hey, Alex, I'm just going to divert some of your iron plates over to my efforts.
So you can overlap his conveyor belts with each other.
Yeah, well, so you share the conveyor belts.
So you share it. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can have things that like pick things off the conveyor belt that you might need.
Oh, those little arms that I saw.
Yeah, little inserters.
Okay. So, okay, that sounds actually kind of cool. Do they have a development plan, like when they're supposed to come out of early access? When did it go into early access? I don't even know when this game came out.
I'm actually not sure. I know Alex has been playing it for 6 months or so.
Wow, really?
It's a very detailed game. It was a lot of work for him to kind of come up on how to do things, and I was lucky that he had played the game for so long, because then when I came in, he could teach me how to lay things out. Because one of the things you quickly realize is that there's optimal like layouts for certain like processes.
Okay.
And if you don't, you run into this issue where you're just laying out spaghetti. In my refinery network right now, it's totally spaghetti, but I made it work.
Can you break down stuff and rebuild?
Yes.
Okay.
And you recover everything you break down.
Oh, wow. You don't get a penalty.
No.
Wow, that's interesting.
It just takes time.
How much time are we talking?
It could take like a couple of seconds to break down.
So
each
it's
item.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's not like 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
No. And then, later in the game, you can have your construction robots and you can tell them, hey, just break this all down.
Okay. And how many hours have you played?
If I had to guess right now, I'd say probably like between 8 to 10 hours.
8 to 10. And the game that you and Alex keep playing, is that like a game that you can save, quit, and rejoin? It's
Yeah.
kind of like that same functionality?
Yeah, it's exactly like, you think of like a Brood War thing where there's a map and you sort of just like save it. You come back to it.
Okay, and you come back to it.
Yeah.
And you have no idea, like and you don't know how long it's going to take to finish.
I
Can
don't
you
know.
even finish?
You can finish, but you can keep playing after you finish. And it's sort of one of those things where a lot of the enjoyment from the game comes from optimizing certain processes. So like you're never going to get bored because you can always, I find myself constantly being like, oh, well, I can't go to bed right now because I just have to do this and then I have to do that. And like, oh, I need to fix this. And oh shit, now that this is fixed, that means I have a shortage of iron. I need to ramp up my iron production. It's a constant tweaking. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I see you guys on it, but I'm glad you're having fun. Speaking of something that I've spent a lot of time on, I picked up Diablo 3 for the first time in a long time. The Rise of Necromancer patch came out, and what that is that they added the Necromancer from Diablo 2 into the game. I played with 2 other buddies. We played this thing called a season, which is season 11, which you start fresh.
Okay.
Like you don't have anything connected. It's unique to that character. And I think I binged it for maybe across 3 days, like maybe 20 hours.
Wow.
I played it. I got everything going. The Necromancer was fun. I don't think you've ever played any Diablo games.
I played a little bit of Diablo 3.
So Diablo 2, the Diablo 2 Necro, he either like you can summon skeleton armies, you can revive dead minions. You have these things called golems that you can have an army.
Right.
You can use poison. You can use curses. The Diablo 3 one kind of meshes all those with how the mechanics are now in the game.
Yeah.
I would say that it's pretty close to the Diablo 2 one, but it has its own Diablo 3 flair, obviously with the limitations. I played with 2 other buddies of mine. We grinded that thing out, got good gear, but then I felt I'm good with it. And I feel that at this point, Diablo is kind of on its way out, and I think Blizzard knows that. This kind of patch was like, it was $15, which wasn't much, and you got to experience it. I got my money's worth, and I think the game came out 2012, and now we're in 2017.
Yeah.
That game, I think it's on its way out. I think it's on its way out, especially with Path of Exile, which I ended up picking up a couple of days ago.
How is that, by the way?
I think you may like it. I think you may like it. It's definitely, they released a new, so Path of Exile is quote unquote the Diablo competitor. It's an indie group called Grinding Gears Games, GGG. They're from New Zealand. And it's basically, they took kind of the Diablo 2 model and they created their own version. And it's an ARPG, so you kind of grind gear and
Right.
all this stuff. You pick from 6 classes, and it's interesting because they have skills are not something you get when you level up. You get these gems that you socket into your gear, and they have colors. It's either it's green, blue, red, and then they give you your abilities, and then you play, and then you level up the gem. But you got to be careful not to level the gem up too high, because how the game works is that you get base stats, and then when you level up, those stats don't increase. But what ends up happening is you have this giant skill tree that's insanely big. Like you zoom, it's like a Skyrim skill tree.
Okay.
And you can get like like plus 10 strength by clicking on this. So they have a lot of mundane, boring stuff, but they have like big skills that you can get. So I've played like 2 hours of it. It's definitely familiar. It's definitely interesting. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the better free-to-play games I've played in terms of what you get. There's a lot of content in it, and the microtransactions are only cosmetic, or you can buy like a tab. But
Sounds great.
It's not that bad. But for a free-to-play game, it's pretty good. I'll probably play it some more. But if you want like a loot grindy game where there's, just a lot of depth to it, it's definitely a game I would pick up. Yeah, it's probably the best time now. They reworked all their tutorials, they worked everything, and they
Sounds
upped
interesting. We should definitely check that out.
We
Squad.
should do it.
Is it 3-player, 4-player?
I think you can play up to like 5 or something.
5, okay.
4 or 5. But yeah.
If Cody ever fixes his computer, he can join us.
I mean, he's playing on his laptop. That's how we've been playing Overwatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get a new laptop or?
He bought a laptop, but it has like an integrated graphics card. But it can play Overwatch. It probably could play Siege on low settings. I don't know.
Integrated graphics? I don't think so.
Maybe. I don't know. It's running Overwatch on. I don't even know. Ask him what.
Overwatch is surprisingly well optimized
Yeah.
for low hardware.
I think that
was one of their best decisions. They made it really widely available.
I think it's Blizzard. They just make it. I think that's the goal for many people, though.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, but what else? What else has been tickling your fancy?
I've been playing, Factorio. I've been playing Siege. I just beat Prey.
Tell me about it.
And actually, I really, really like Prey. If you liked BioShock, you will probably really enjoy Prey. There's a lot of I know it's sort of like a trope for shooters these days to have like skill points you can find throughout the game to enhance skills, that sort of thing, like an RPG shooter. It's a great game. I really like the story. You're on. I don't want to give anything away. I won't give too much of the story away because there's right from the get-go there's spoilers. But there's these enemies called the Xenomorphs, and they're really well done. They're like these ethereal, wispy guys. They can imitate objects. So you walk into a room and be like, "Oh, look, a banana on the ground. I'll go get the banana," and you go to touch it, and it'll be this mimic. and you have to kill it. It kind of reminds me of the head crabs from Half-Life 2
Yeah.
and Half-Life 1.
So I got a couple questions. So I played the intro, and is the story keeps you guessing the whole time, or do you feel like at a certain point you saw where this is going?
So how far? I don't want to spoil.
I just got to the end. It's in the end of the demo, so it's not really a spoiler.
Okay.
The end of the demo is when you go to your office, and then everything you talk to a computer, and then somebody hijacks the computer, and then that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So it's like an hour after. So do you feel the story was predictable?
I actually did not predict how it ended. And actually, there's multiple endings. It's kind of choose your own adventure. There's like 6 endings, I want to say.
Okay.
And actually, when I originally played through it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back and try all the other endings. But I caved and I just went on YouTube and watched the endings because that just seems like effort.
Okay. You said RPG elements.
Yeah.
When I went through there, it looks like there was, I think, 3 skill trees. Engineer.
You eventually get 6.
You get 6.
Yeah.
So they add 3 more.
Yeah. So you get the ability to add xenomorph abilities.
Okay.
So that can be like, you can, you know how like, you basically, if you see a xenomorph do something, not the xenomorphs, sorry. Why did I say xenomorphs? That's the aliens.
Yeah.
They're called,
What are they called again?
shoot,
What are they called?
they have a really cool name.
God dang it, we'll come back to you, but continue.
Yeah.
Just keep running with
So
it.
if you see them do something, you can gain that skill. So you see the mimics imitate an object, you
can become
do
a
that.
cup.
Yeah, you can become a cup. That's like from the trailer, right?
Did you ever feel... Okay, first question. Can you refund points that you spend into your trees?
I don't think you can.
Did you ever feel that you regretted a point?
Definitely several times.
Oh, no.
But you know, there was never a time where I felt like by the end of the game, there were no skills that I felt like I needed to get.
Did you ever feel that you were starved of getting skill points?
No. I mean, so if you wanted to min-max, you might regret spending skill points in certain
Sure.
ways. But it's not a game where it really rewards min-maxing.
Did you feel that the skills made or break your experience in terms of getting over
No.
any problem solving?
So I will say that, like, you know, everyone should pick up, like, you know, if they play the game, they should pick up at least 2 skill points into hacking 2. You should get, you know, leverage 1 and maybe 2. You should get some of these ones that sort of remove barriers because it's like every other video game of a trope where, like, if you have this skill, you can remove this barrier and go into a room and there's tons of ammo and stuff like that. You're going to want that. And it's a game where, you know, I played it on the hard difficulty, or, you know, the one right above normal. I can't remember what it was called.
Hard.
And I was constantly ammo starved.
You were?
Constantly.
I saw something that you could recycle stuff and you get like elements.
Yeah.
So is there a crafting element to this game?
Yes. So you can collect blueprints of different items throughout the game, and then you can recycle. You can either recycle your junk or you can recycle even like guns. So if you have a pistol, you can still pick up another pistol and then take that pistol over to the recycler and recycle it. And you're pretty inventory constrained. You know, you have a finite number of inventory slots that can be upgraded. But I thought the crafting was very cool because you could choose how you use the broken down junk that you collected, and you could spend that on more neuromods if you really wanted to min max.
So you can make neuromods of the junk.
Yeah, eventually later in the game you can make neuromods, or you can make like health packs or ammo. I find myself making a lot of pistol ammo.
Did you ever feel that you found yourself hoarding because you didn't want to recycle certain things?
No, I was just always low.
You're always recycling.
So you can't play it like a shooter. If you just want to like pick up a pistol and shoot things, it's not going to work. You're going to run out of ammo for sure. So you have to find creative ways to kill people. There's a really cool gun, the glue gun.
Oh, I've seen that's the one I got in the demo where you just freezes it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But what's really frustrating is you can freeze an enemy, but then as soon as you go to melee them, you break it so they can move again. So you kind of have to like set it up right.
What were some things that you didn't like about it?
I thought it was pretty cliche in some, in certain ways. You'd like go to do some objective, like, oh shoot, the path is blocked. You have to go do this, and you go to do that. Oh shoot, the path is blocked to that. You got to go do this, and it's just like, come on, like how? Just help me out. Just like have like a finite task that I do and complete it, and then I want to move on to another task.
How many hours did you sink?
I don't think it was that many hours. I think maybe we'd have to check Steam, maybe like 10 or 12.
Oh, it's that short, huh?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so I think it took me like 20 hours of gameplay, but the game time clock, which resets every time like you load a previous save, was like 10 or 12 hours.
Oh, okay. And did it open itself up for a sequel? Obviously, a new franchise for Bethesda.
100%. It was. I don't want to give anything away, but like the ending was very much like, this is how the sequel is going to play out.
Okay. Did you Were you satisfied?
Yes, 100%. I was just as impressed as I was with some of the early BioShock games. I thought it was really well done. I think that it was cool to see new IP from Bethesda. So
That's good. I mean, the thing is for Prey is that, God, Bethesda games are always generously on sale.
yeah,
I'm slowly getting this weird stack of shame that's coming up.
the stack of shame is real.
It's becoming a thing again. I have Dark Souls 3 that's still not been opened.
Did we talk last time about our stack of shames?
No, but
Next time we get together, we should talk about our stack of shames and say, detail exactly what's on it. We can read them off.
I know it's gonna be bad. I'm trying to not have it be like a thing.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Splatoon 2.
Really?
Like an obsessive amount. I think I'm at 35 hours. And I catch myself playing it solo, and I catch it playing with friends.
Okay.
So Splatoon 2 is the sequel to Splatoon 1, obviously. That was on the Wii U. It was praised really well on the Wii U because it's definitely a different take on already the stale genre of shooting. For those who don't know what it is, you play as a kid that can become a squid, and you play a 4v4 like arena game where there's different types of guns, and like the casual mode is called Turf War, where the whole objective is to just ink and paint the whole ground with your color.
Right.
And after 3 minutes, whoever got the most percentage wins.
Right. Okay.
Then you play that mode to like level 10, and then it opens up ranked play if you want, and gives you 3 more game types. One's called Rainmaker, which is, think of, you get this rocket launcher that's in the middle of the map, and then you get it to the other person, you slam it into their base, and you win.
Okay.
The other one's called Splat Zone, which is like King of the Hill, where there's just one piece that you have to ink, and you have to hold it for so long,
Okay,
and then
that makes sense.
And then the final one is Tower Control, which is there's this kind of like this obelisk in the center that once you control it, it starts moving and you push it toward the enemy base. It's like a payload.
Okay.
And then I've been playing a lot. I think right now I'm like level 21. You start at level 0, obviously, level 1. And then as you go up, you get like new guns that unlock. And then there's new gear. They have a system where you can get a hat, shirt, or boots. And then there's abilities on it, which increase either how much your gun uses as ink, how much you save, how much you recover, how fast you go in the ink, how fast you go on land. So I've just been really enjoying it. There's a single player mode. It's about like 8 hours. I finished it last night. It was cool, forgettable. I think it has like platforming elements, and it just gets repetitive. It's kind of like similar to what you say in most games. Where like, okay, I've done this like 5 times. Let's just get to it, and then you commit and you finish it. The bosses are kind of cool. They're kind of zany, but it's a glorified tutorial. Like if you've never played Splatoon before, play the single player, and then you'll be ready for multiplayer.
Cool.
They did a good job in that. I have played with friends, and that's freaking amazing. It's this weird thing that you don't have to be good at shooting somebody because the game works in a way where
it rewards you for not hitting people.
Yeah, it rewards you. You can still win the game if you're not good at killing anybody because killing someone doesn't give you points. It just kind of slows the other team down.
Gotcha.
You get like a special, and then the only way to increase your special is to put your ink everywhere. So you won't get like if you shot me and I died, you won't increase your special bar. Basically, it's just fresh. It's just definitely new for me. I've never played a game like it. It creates something that is different in the genre, and it's Nintendo's take on it.
Yeah.
A lot of people that would get deterred because it looks very kiddie.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't let that be a deterrent. The Switch is doing some work. It's hustling right now. It's hustling, and Splatoon 2 is, if you have a Switch, I would get that game. Our friend Peter never plays multiplayer games.
Yeah.
He has it. We played it together. He's loving it. So, I mean, I spent 35 hours on it. I've played. It's just, one more thing. They released the Switch app alongside Splatoon 2.
Okay. It's like the friend app or whatever?
Yeah, the friend app, and it's complete, utter trash. So
this adds the ability to do VoIP?
It's VoIP, but it's complete garbage because the second, like, your screen turns black, it disconnects. So how it's acceptable for Nintendo to have this blows my mind. Hopefully they'll fix it. But for Splatoon 2 purposes, it looks like what they're going to do with all their games, Nintendo, segueing, is they'll have game-specific services. And for Splatoon 2 is the first one, they have like a store.
Sure.
And you can use in-game gold. There's no microtransactions to buy like specific exclusive gear on the Splatnet store that rotates every 2 hours.
Sure.
Which is cool because it just adds another thing. Like, oh, you can check. Oh, some cool gear. You press it, orders it. It's instantly on your phone, and then you just pick it up in game. But that app is bad. But
So
yeah.
I mean, my main complaint about Splatoon is that my Switch has been pretty neglected recently.
Yeah, I see that you're offline now. It doesn't even say how many days anymore.
But like when I play on my Switch, I play on the airplane. That's almost exclusively when I play. It's the perfect console to take on a plane.
Yeah, it is.
Like Game Boy, or whatever. And I played a ton when I flew to Houston the other day, or the other week, I should say. But on a plane, I'm not going to be playing competitive multiplayer games.
No.
And the thing is, I've been disappointed. Like I'm not going to play Mario Kart by myself on the plane. I'm not going to play ARMS by myself on the plane. I'm not going to play Splatoon, even though all those games have single player. Those are all multiplayer focused, community focused games.
Yeah.
So I'm worried that the next time I will get a game I can play on the plane
Will be in 2 weeks.
that'll be Mario Odyssey in October, right?
Mario and Rabbids, the XCOM game.
Oh, Rabbids. Yeah. I'm still on the fence about Rabbids.
It looks great.
I don't know how I feel about turn-based games. I don't have the patience for it sometimes.
Oh, well, it looks really good.
I'm really excited for Mario. And I think Mario is the only reason right now that I haven't sold my Switch. Because I'm like hopeful that in 2 months.
I mean, you should give it a shot. I mean, like you I don't know how many people that have a Switch. Like, at least for me and some of my family friends, for some reason we all have Switches now.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we've had a console, and some of us are in the same state, and some people don't afford a PC or they don't want to do that. So I've definitely used my Switch a lot, especially in the drought of games. And I've excuse me, this beer and coffee is just
a great combination.
It's a great combination.
By the way, segue, what are we drinking today, Alex?
Sneak Attack?
Sneak Attack.
21st Amendment? Is that what it is?
21st Amendment, yep.
They closed the brewery in the city.
Did they really?
They closed the restaurant.
Oh, okay, so the brew pub.
I've
been to that brew pub. I really like that place.
It's the one near AT&T Park.
Yeah, over on like 2nd Street.
Yeah. Across the street from the grilled cheese place.
The Melt.
The Melt. It's really good.
Excellent.
But I think that I understand your position why you haven't picked up any multiplayer games, because I don't think you know them besides me, Peter. I mean, some people with a Switch.
Yeah.
It may be harder. I don't know. I don't know. I've coordinated with people outside the state.
For me, it's like I play the Switch when I'm on the go. That's why it was so appealing to me. I played on the train. I played on the airplane. And those are not places, like I said, where you're going to have a good internet connection, where you're going to be able to play multiplayer games. When I'm home, I could play Switch when I'm at home, but I'd much rather play like Factorio or Rainbow Six Siege or like.
Yeah, I mean, I would say give it a. I mean, it sounds like you're pretty set in your ways, but I would give it a shot and play with people. Because playing with Peter for the first time ever, it is definitely different. Because I never thought I would play with that man in any multiplayer. Because in college, if you remember, he's like, I don't like multiplayer games. I don't want to play any of these multiplayer games.
What did you used to play in college?
Single player games.
No, but which ones? I'm trying
like
to remember.
He would play like Zelda. He would play.
Oh yeah,
just the single player.
GameCube or no? What did he have?
He used
a Wii.
Yeah, I mean, he just played single player games.
Yeah,
and like Metal Gear and all this stuff. And he's like, I don't want to play any. And then the Switch came around, and he picked up ARMS. And then
what was that like JRPG you used to play, like Dragon Quest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So he has Mario Kart. He has ARMS. He's like full on, and he's like having a great time.
Yeah.
Granted, his girlfriend has a Switch too, so maybe they play together. But I played with Peter; it was great. I'd give it a shot. It's definitely different. It's refreshing for now. But I've sunk a lot of hours into it.
I would totally love to give it a shot. The only thing that's holding me back right now is that each one of those games is still $60,
and they'll never go on sale for Nintendo.
No,
Nintendo games don't go on sale.
And it's like the other day when I picked the Factorio for $20, I also picked up this game I'm really looking forward to play called The Last Astronaut. Have you heard? It's an indie game.
I haven't heard of it.
Basically, you're stranded alone on a planet, and you kind of gotta. I'm not really quite sure what I haven't installed it yet and played it yet, but from the trailer, it looks like you kind of gotta figure stuff out and rebuild your base or whatever. Yeah. It looks really good. It's more like artistically done. It focuses on like the fact that you're on a planet all by yourself, lonely and whatnot. The trailer, if you're considering The Last Astronaut, I don't know if I'd watch the trailer because it gives away things that I feel might be spoilers.
Really?
But I don't know. So I'm on the fence. If they show it in the trailer, maybe it's not a spoiler. Maybe it happens early on in the game. Maybe it's only the first layer being peeled back. But it kind of seemed like they gave away the whole game.
Is this a story-based game? I'm not really sure.
It's story-based single player, like third-person astronaut type thing.
Okay. Is it just survival?
I think so. It looks cool. It kind of reminds me of Astroneer, but it's not as like creative and crafting and sort of stuff like that.
Okay. I think I may have seen this on like a stream.
Yeah, it was featured on the Steam store the other day.
Okay.
And I saw it and I was like, $20, I'm gonna pick that up because I'll always take a risk on $20.
Yeah, $20 not bad. It's like an IMAX movie.
To me, it's $60. I'm like, well, I could buy like 3 good indie games on Steam.
I mean, it is definitely tough to be like, I'm gonna buy a $60 game every month.
Yeah. And I'll pay $60 for a AAA title that I know is going to be good. If it's got good reviews from a good developer.
Yeah. I think Nintendo is a good developer. It just comes down to, I truly think if somebody else had a Switch in your house, it'd be a different story. I think if Alex had a Switch in your house, you may have already picked up ARMS or picked up Mario Kart or picked up Splatoon because it's that idea of like, hey, Alex, you want to play? Yeah. And he'd be like, okay. And then that's it.
I mean, when I shout across the hall, hey, Alex, you want to play? You know what he says? He says, you want to play Factorio?
Yeah. See, it's a huge thing.
It's true.
I think that plays a difference, at all. But it sounds like I gotta try some Factorio.
Yeah,
Factorio maybe. I'm down. I mean, I'll give it a look. I know Alex is gonna.
Luke is down to try it out. You should try it out. We can have, I think, up to 12 people. He might play. He's busy. He's scheming. He's gonna take over the world.
Yeah. Have you played anything else?
Not really that much recently. So I'm trying to think.
Rainbow Six,
Prey.
We talked about Rainbow Six a little bit. We talked about how, it's hopefully gets them a little bit of a bump.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still really, really happy with Rainbow Six Siege. I think that it has by far the best gunplay mechanics in any game. It's very rewarding. You feel like when you take shots, it's like the shots you meant to take, and you're rewarded for your shot. Because it's 1 or 2 shot kill. Yeah. It's much better in terms of, you don't want to like be shooting at someone and then they turn around and kill you because they have a more powerful gun or something like that. That's always frustrating to me. Mm-hmm. But
it's a great game. I'm glad that we played it. I spent a lot of hours into it. Yeah. Hopefully it gets revitalized. I got nothing else besides the only things I'm looking forward to this month is the new Uncharted and then Destiny 2 beta. Hopefully it blows me away because I want a game that I can turn off my brain to.
I keep going back and forth on Destiny.
I mean, we'll find out in a month. Open
I think
beta.
what it is, I'm really looking forward to the co-op.
Yeah, you'll probably have a great time.
Very questionable about the multiplayer.
It has a huge PvE community.
Yeah.
And I know for a lot of games that have this, and I'll use WoW as a reference, I barely touched the PvP and I only did the PvE and I still had a great time. But end of the month, open beta, the 29th. Give it a shot. Cross my fingers.
Still on the PC or still on the consoles though.
No,
right?
PC.
Oh, PC open beta on 29th?
Yeah.
I'm there. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Other than that, I got nothing else.
Yeah. So this is the first episode we're gonna do pre-recorded instead of a live stream. We're gonna try this out, see how it works. But we're gonna constantly evolve this show,
this concept.
Maybe
add some new stuff. We'll see how it goes.
So if you made it this far into the video, first of all, congratulations. But second of all, if you want to see more content, please subscribe to the channel. The like button really helps us get exposure to other people. And if you see something you want changed, if you want to compliment us on doing something right, or if you want to say we're doing something terribly wrong, please leave a comment. We need feedback to help improve this.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're gonna continuously improve, and hopefully
we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Adios.